ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहैतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5, Verse number 13. This is Sage Chamas continuing to answer the question of the king about people who do not worship Bhagavan, what happens to them. So he explained about the varnashram system and how some people do not understand the real purpose of it. And then he spoke that verse about Loke Bhavaya Nismadhya Seva. Then he spoke about how people engage their life in making money and enjoying. So now he again explains that this vyavastha or this arrangement which is given by the Vedas, where it was said that it is meant for nivritti, to become detached and not engage in killing animals. So this further says here in this verse, Yad ghrana bhakso vihitah suraya tatha pasoralabhanam nihimsa evam vyavayah prajaya niratya imam vishuddham na vidu swadharmam. So he says that what is described as taking liquor in the yajna, Satramani yajna, that is only ghrana bhaksha, that it is meant only for smelling it and not for consuming it. Similarly, pasor alabhanam nahimsa, the pasu is to be touched and not killed. And evam vyavaya prajaya niratya. Similarly, the union with wife is for producing children and not for enjoyment. So he says, imam vishuddham swadharmam na vidu. So this pure dharma, or that dharma which uplifts you from the bondage of karma, is not known to people. So as I said yesterday, that there are two ways to look at this verse, especially because of the word alabhanam, because this word alabhanam is used in the Vedas, vayam svetam alam, vayavyam svetam alabhet. So this very word is used, alabhet is used in the sense of killing the animal, and the alternative meaning is not killing. So we'll see. I will read Sridhar Swami's commentary so you get an idea how they say it. So he writes, Kincha vyavasthaya api vyavayadi abhyanugyanam niyatheshtam api tu anyatha evatya. So he says that although this vyavastha was given earlier in that sloka, Loke Vavayam Ismadya Seva, in verse number 11, that it is for nivritti, for becoming free. But it was explained that some permission is given, that you can consume liquor in Satramani, you can have meat in the yajna. So he says that also the meaning is that it should not be done just freely, nayatheshtam, tu anyatha eva. But he says, but the meaning is different. And what is that? Yaditi. So yad yasmat. So yad here means yasmat. He says because suraya ghrana bhakso avghranam saiva vihito napanam. That liquor is only to be smelled, avghrana, and not that you drink it. Tatha pasorapi alabhanam eva vihitam na tu himsa. And for the animal, only the alabhan is injuncted or prescribed and not killing. So what does it mean that it is not killing or it is not himsa? So then he says, ayamartha. The meaning is this. Devta uddeshena yat pasu hananam tad alabhanam. So he says that when you kill the animal as an offering for the devas, that is called alabhanam and not himsa. That is not considered as violence, although it is killing, but it is not considered as killing. That is the meaning. That killing is there, but it is not killing. So why is that? He said, Vayavyam svetam alabhet ityadi shruter na tu himsa. Because in the Shruti statement itself, the word alabhan is used and not that himsyat. It does not say Vayavyam svetam himsyat, but alabhet. So the meaning, what does it mean? The meaning is that this killing is not considered as killing. That is how it is taken. Why is that? Because there is another statement, why they take this meaning. It says, Ya Veda Vihita Himsa na sa himsa iti kirtyate iti vachanat. So this is a very famous argument or explanation you hear, that the himsa which is prescribed by the Veda is not considered as himsa.
Vayavyam Shvetam Alabhet?
Means we should offer a white goat or white horse.
Vayavyam means?
Vayu. For Vayu. Vayu Devata.
So this Vayu is Lakshana of goat or cow here?
Vayu Devata. For Vayu Devata
Achha,
you should Sweta.
Okay.
Sweta means white.
Okay.
Bhakshanuddesena tu kriyamanam hananam laukikvad himsa eva. But if you do the himsa just for eating, and then you make a pretext that you are doing it yajna, he says that will be considered as yajna. So he says only devta uddeshena himsa is not himsa. But if it is bhakshanartham, then it is himsa. He says that is laukikavata. That is just like you kill without yajna, it is considered same because you are not doing it for devata. So he says, atra hi alabhanam eva vihitam na to himsa. So he says here the prescription is of alabhana and not himsa. But this alabhan does not mean that you don't kill. You kill, but it is not himsa. That is the meaning. Ato na yathest bhakshana abhyanugya ityartha. Therefore you are not permitted to eat just freely as you like, but only as prasad of the yajna. So this is also argument given that yajna sistasana santo muchyante sarva kalvasai bhunjate te atvagham papa ye pachanti atma karanat. So Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita that yajna sistasana santo muchyante sarva, that if you eat yajna shesha, remnant of yajna, then you become free from sin. So therefore it is yajna shesha, so you can eat that. So this is the explanation given. Vyavayopi prajaya nimitta bhutya natu ratyai. And then the other meaning is that vyavaya, union with wife, is also for the sake of producing children, not for enjoying. Because there are debt when someone is born, so you have the debt, Rishirin, Devrin, Pitririn. So you become free from the debt from the forefathers by producing children. So it is for that purpose. Ato manorath vadina imam vishuddham swadharmam na viduriti. He says therefore those who take their own meaning, manorath vadi, so they do not know the vishuddha dharma, this pure dharma, that it is not for enjoying. So this is explanation given here. But this explanation does not match with the mood of Bhāgavatam. That is the problem. Because earlier in Bhāgavatam, 7th canto, 15th chapter, when Narada Rishi was explaining Varnashram Dharma to King Yudhishthira, so he very clearly says there, na dadyat amisham swadhe na cha adyad dharmavit munyane syat parapriti yatha na pasu himsaya. So very clearly he says that do not offer meat in the Shraddha, because there is also injunction to offer meat in the Shraddha. So he says na dadyat amisham shraddhe. And nacha adyat dharmavit, and he says one should also not eat, one who knows dharma. And then he says muni annai syat parapriti yathana pasu himsaya. So he says that the priti of the devatas or para means whether pitris, devatas, is not by pasu himsa but by muni anna. Muni anna means this, what you call samarais, etc. These are which are found in the forest, by offering those things and not killing anyone. So there it is very clear when it says na amisam dadyat shraddhe. So if you do not give, then here the meaning of alabhan as offering pashu in the yajna does not match. And this is also supported by Mahabharata. In Mahabharata there is a famous story of King Uparichar. Uparichar Vasu was a king. He is actually also the father of Satyavati, who was mother of Vyasadeva. So he was friend of Indra, and therefore Indra gave him a plane. That's why he's called Uparichara, that who flies in the sky. His name is actually Vasu, but he's called Uparichara Vasu. So once the sages, they were performing a yajna, and there is statement in the Shruti that you offer aja. So aja literally also means unborn, right? Ajopi sannavyatma bhutanam ishwaropi san. But aja also means goat, because there is a aj dhatu also in Sanskrit, aj gatav, which means which wanders. So ajati iti aja, which, so goats are running around there, therefore goat is called aja. So the devatas were present in the yajna, and devatas said that aja means goat, so you should offer goat for us. And the sages said that no, aja does not mean goat, aja means seeds. Because seeds, before they are put into the field, they are aja. They are not sprouted. So therefore they are also called aja. So this is what they said. So when the devas say ajairna yastavyam iti prahur deva dujottaman, devas said that you should worship us by offering goat. And such a chago api ajogyeyo. He says aja means chaga. Chaga means goat. Nanya pasuriti sthiti. He says aja means chag, goat, and not any other animal. So at that time the sages, they said bijair yagyesu yastavyam iti vai devo shruti. So he says no, aja means seeds, and this is the meaning of the shruti. Ajasangyani bijani chagam no hantu maratha. He says that the word aja means seed and not goat, therefore it is not proper to offer goat. Naesha dharma satam devo yatra vadhyate vaipasu. So Bhāgavatam, Mahabharata is also saying, he says yatra pasu vadhyate tatra na satam dharma. That is not the dharma of saintly people, that you kill animal for the sake of devas. So there was argument between devas and sages. At that time Uparichar Vasu was flying by. So they stopped him. He was not very high up in the sky. So therefore, twinkle, twinkle, little star, come down, tell me what you are. So he actually came down. So they asked him that you are a very saintly person, up high in the sky, right? So you are a saintly person, saintly king. So you be the judge and tell us what does the word aja here means. So at that time, Uparichar, because he was a friend of Indra, he favored him. And he said, Aja means goat. So the sages became upset with him and he said, okay, now you cannot fly. So he fell down. So Aparichara became Adhochara then, or Prithvichara. So this also means that the judge has to be unbiased, not taking sides. So from all this, the meaning is Alabhan, is touching, but people don't agree to that. So Vansidhar, who is commentator on Sridhar Swami's commentary, he also supports him and he cites this sloka yato yagya mrita urdhvam yanti devai cha patrike ato labhad alabhanam swargasya natu maranam. This is also explanation you might have heard, that animals which are killed in the yagya, they rise up to heaven if they are killed in deva or patrika, whether they are offered in the yagya for the devas or for the pitris, forefathers. So urdhvam yanti, they go up in the heaven. He says therefore ato labhad alabhanam. That's why this is called alabhanam. Why this killing of animal in the yagya is called alabhan and not hanan? Hanan means killing, very clear, himsa, violence. But it is another word is used for this, and that is alabhan. So alabhan, because they get the labh, they get the advantage of going to the heaven. So that's why it is called alabhan. So he says iti tirthoktasya. This is also, he is referring to Vijayadhvaj Tirtha, another commentator, he cites this. So Vijayadhvaj Tirtha and Madhva Sampradaya Viragha both give this explanation. And
Baba, it's Lobhad or Labhad?
Labhad, Lobha is wrong.
In both places, in Vanshidhar also and in Viraghav, it's Lobhad. So it's misprint, both places.
It's wrong. Lobha doesn't make any sense. What is Lobha here? And how Lobha will make it Labha, Alabhanam? Iti Labhad Alabhanam. Labdhatu, both are made from Labdhatu. I also saw this Lobha. I said, what is Lobha? Lobha doesn't make any sense. So Vansidhar actually writes, Kechid Alabhan Shabdasya Sparsarthaktam Manyamana Yagyasu Pashum Nisedanti. He says some people take the meaning of the word Alabhan as touching, and therefore they restrict or prohibit the killing of the animal in the yagya. So he says tadetat sat shastram vicharaham nava iti sudebhir vivesniya. So he doesn't give his opinion. He says the intelligent people should deliberate on this. What is the meaning of this shastra? And then he actually goes on proving that how it is not killing. He quotes also, Yagyesu alamnam proktam devta uddesata pashu hinsanam tadanyatra tasmat tamna acharet buddha. He says that this what is done in yagya is called alabhan, and elsewhere it is called himsa, and one should not do himsa. So this is also he is giving. Yagyartha pasva srishta swameva swambhuva tasmad yagye vadho vada. He says the animals are created by Brahma for the sake of yagya, therefore killing in yagya is not killing. This is citing Manu. So this is a very strong argument in favor of offering yagya. But as I said, that Vishwanath Chakravarti doesn't agree with that. So he says, Kincha vyavasthapi vyavasthayapi vyavayadi abhyanuganam neyatheshtam api tu anyatha eva. So that he agrees. Same thing basically what Sridhar Swami says, that even this restriction which was earlier in the form of giving permission, this is also not that you just do whenever you want to do. So he says, Yat yasmat suraya ghrana bhaksha avghranam eva bhaksha vihita. So this part is no problem. This nobody says anything different for this. That ghrana bhaksha means you just smell it. Except Veer Raghava has a different reading. Instead of ghrana bhaksha, he says prana bhaksha. And then he says that you drink it. So there also you can drink. So there's a different reading, Ghrana Bhaksha, Prana Bhaksha. So he says, Natu yatheshtam panam tatha pasor alabhanam ved himsa kinchit ang chedanam eva natu himsa vadha. So Vishwanath Chakravarti says that this alabhanam here is that you do little bit of himsa, that you cut some little part of the animal but not kill. That's what he says. Vivaya api prajaya hetuna natu ramanartham, and vivaya is. So basically out of these three things, drinking wine, eating meat and having union with wife, the two are same for everybody. Everybody says you smell it and have union for the sake of children, but difference of opinion is about the word alabhan. And there is one more commentator who has actually given much more detailed explanation in line with Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti, that is Bhagavat Prasad Acharya. He is in Swaminarayan Sampradaya. So he also says that it is touching. So you can read that. So he gives little more logic. Kincha vyavasthaya api vyavaya adya abhyanuggaya na yatheshta apitu anyatha evatya. This line is, everybody seems to write the same. That vyavastha is not that you do it freely. Yaditi yasmat yas suraya bhaksha vihita setu ghrana bhaksha vihita netu sakshat tatpanam. So that is fine, that you just smell the liquor and not drink it. Now he says, Tatha pasho yat alabhnam vihitam tat alabhnam tat sparsha vidhanam eva natu himsa. So he now makes very clear, at least Vishwanath Chakravarti said that you cut some part of the animal. He says, no, this is alabhanam means sparsha. This is the most clear explanation. That you don't kill, natu himsa, tadang chedanadina tat prana tyajanam. Says no cutting of the anga, any limb of the animal, and no giving up of the life, but you just touch it. Evam vyavayah methun acharanam prajya nimittena vihita. And then similarly, union with wife is for the sake of children, natu ratyai vishaya bhogartham, not for enjoyment. Ato manorathvadina imam vishuddham swadharmam na iti na vidu. Therefore those who are manorathvadi means who act on whims of their mind, they do not know this dharma which is pure. Atra dharmika ananda granthe Asadhar Bhatta. So he is quoting some Asadhar Bhatta, another book. Yadi asmin karmani surayaha vidhanam iti shesha tatra niskam yagika nam ghrana bhaksho vihita natu swarupta surapan. So he says that in this karma, means yagya karma, where there is an injunction of surapan, that is only for smelling and not actually drinking. Ghrana bhakshasyapi sakshat bhaksha tulyatva darshanat. So now the question one may raise that if you have to do, if it is an injunction to drink, then how that injunction will be fulfilled? Because one of the very strong point of those who follow the dharma is that they have to follow the injunction to the point. So if it says that you have to drink, you have to drink. How can you say that you drink, you only smell it? Then you have not followed the injunction. So for that he says that this smelling is also equal to drinking. So therefore there is no flouting the injunction. Tathacha smriti. So what is the proof of it? He gives a proof. This person has done some research. So he says, Upvaso yada nityah sraddham naimittikam bhavet upvasam prakurvite agrahaya pitri sevitam. So he is bringing an instance that suppose somebody is doing upavas, fasting. And then in his fasting time, it is the time for the Shraddha for the Pitris. Now in the Shraddha you have to offer and then you have to accept the food. So how is he going to do that now? How is he going to follow the Upavasa, fasting, as well as taking the Prasada of the Pitris? So there he says that you continue your Upavas and just smell the food. And that is equal to eating. So this is the Vikalpa. So in the Vidhi Shastra also, many times the Vikalpas are given if someone is not able to follow. Just like there are also Kalpas that if you do not have some particular ingredient, then they give an alternative for that. That okay, if this is not available, suppose some ingredient is just not available, then you cannot do that yajna. So they then give a kalpa that you can take that. So this is what it says, that agrahaya pitri sevitam, that you just smell it. Kartur niskamattvena pratinidhi dvarena ist siddho karma vagunya sanka nasti eva. So he says that if you are doing niskam karma, then there is no vagunya sanka, there is no possibility that you are unable to follow the vidhi. Swaruptaha karam tyagastu bhagwan mat vedinam nasti eva. So you are not doing karam tyag by swarupa, but you follow the option. Tatha teneva prakarena pashor ghritamsya pishtamasya va manu prokta pratinidhi rupasya alabhanam ved. So he says in the same way you can actually make an animal, even don't have the real animal, but make an animal from the flower and then touch that. That is alaman. So natu prataksha pasho, so you don't need the direct animal. So this is the process which is prescribed. And remember in our childhood when we were in the village, so on the Amavasya, Diwali, it comes on Amavasya. So there was a tradition of offering this hen to the village deity. So my grandfather used to bring the hen, but it was not killed. So you brought it and then you do some puja to it and then he goes and he releases it in front of the deity. So that is alabhan, not killing. So that is what is being described here. Purushottam Prabhu, you had some question?
Question was, since all the devatas, they are considering sattvic guna, so why they are attached so much eating meat then? What's the connection? I couldn't follow that.
No, they don't eat. They also just look at it. They feel proud that look, we are so great. It is just ahankara. They are also having ahankara. That these animals are meant for us.
So they don't eat them at all. Okay.
No, they don't eat. Roads.
Ram Babaji, is my audio coming through okay?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, great. So my question is, the pure Dharma that we've been discussing, it's still considered to be in the category of Varnashrama Dharma, not a limb of bhakti proper, right?
Yeah, this is Varnashram Dharma, but this Varnashram Dharma is also meant for worship of Bhagavan. Varnashram Acharvatam Purushena Praman Vishnu Aradhyate Panta. Varnashram Dharma is meant for Vishnu Aradhana. This is the real purpose. That's why it says Na Vidu Swadharmam, that they don't know this. That's why
The reason I ask is because years ago I got myself in a mess because I thought I was an adhikari for the Varnashrama Dharma, but then I later realized I wasn't. And so I try to, tell me if this is the correct approach, but whenever I'm reading like the Bhāgavatam or any translation of a Sanskrit scripture, I try to clearly say, okay, this is Varnashrama Dharma, so I'm not an adhikari, so I just ignore it. Is that an appropriate way? Okay.
Yes, Varna, you are not part of Varnashram. So don't worry.
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you.
Okay.
Babaji, you described about the yajna. You described about the yajna that this is not killing. So what about hunting? Or will that be described later?
Hunting?
Like King Dasarath, he went for hunting.
Yes, King Dasarath, he suffered because of hunting.
Achha.
And Parikshit Maharaj, he also because of hunting. Actually, this killing in Yajna, because in read Purmimansa, there it is described, it is called Sangyapnam. And it's, I don't know how you can do that. You know how they kill it? They don't kill by weapon. It is not, the animal is not killed by some weapon or anything, but he is suffocated. And that's how he dies. So that is called Sangyapnam. That is the Vidhi. So I don't know how Brahmanas can do that.
Babaji, Vamshidhar says what you said, Atra asmabhi na datyadamisham shradhe iti atra saptame Śrīmad-Bhāgavata vasu upakhyan samahit matotra na prapanchitam iti. So what does this mean actually?
He's not explaining it there. Just avoiding it, that's what it says. Na prapanchitam means not explained.
And what is the word before? Samahit mat utrana?
Atrana.
Okay. So that verse meaning is not being explained here. This is what he says. Atrana prapanchit.
Okay, verse number 14. Natvevam anevam vidon santah stabdha sadabhimaninah pashundruyanti vishrabdha pretya khadanti te chatan. See, it's very clear here. So it says, Natu anevam vido santah stabdha sadabhimanina pashundruyanti. So it says, those who do not know this means this dharma which is described here. So they are very proud and they think that they are learned, sadabhimanina, and thus they are cruel. So they do violence to the animals, feeling that they know it. And pretya khadanti te chatan. But these animals will eat them after death. So that is how the mass is described. That is the definition of mamsa. You know this? Mamsa khadayati. That you are eating me now, then later on I will eat you. That's, I think this is in the Manusmriti. There is a sloka like that in Manusmriti. Mamsa. Mam means me. Sa means he. That he is eating me now, and then later on I will eat him. That's why it is called Mamsa. This sloka in Manusmriti like that. I thought somebody was, yeah. Mamsa bhakshayita mutra yasya masam iha admiham etan masam sa masatvam pravadanti manishina. So the Manishi, the learned people, they say why Mamsa is called Mamsa, why meat is called meat. He says because the animal is saying Mamsa bhakshayita mutra yasya masam iha admiham. So the person who kills the animal, he has to actually say this to the animal, that now I am eating you, but in the next life you will eat me. He has to say this. So if anybody has any sense, then he will think why I am doing it. So that's what the sloka is also saying, Pretya khadanti teja tan. That after that these animals whom you are eating now, then they will eat you. Because karma will not leave you. So that's the meaning. So eva mukta lakshanam dharmam na vidanti te. So he says that these people, this is Vishwanath Chakravarti commenting, they do not know this dharma. Anevam vido means not knowing this. Not knowing this Vishuddha dharma which is described in the previous verse. So what is it? Ya shastra vihita himsa na sa himsa iti kathyate. Now he goes against the other people who are quoting this. Sridhar Swami quoted this sloka, that the violence in the yajna is not considered as violence. So he says they speak like this, but it's not. Ityadi vakya artha tatparyam abuddhva. They don't understand the meaning of this statement. Ye pasun pranata eva himsanti. Those who actually kill the animals in the yajna, so these animals will eat them. This is how Vishwanath Chakravarti is applying it. Vishrabdha vad kale api ete asmat palkasman hanishyanti kintu shastra darshanena uphasitam tum asmabhi sa khilanti eveti palite. Why he says, he takes another meaning of the word Vishrabdha. Vishrabdha means to have faith. So he says that these animals, they have faith in these people. Because when an animal is sacrificed, then they treat him very nicely. They give him bath, they decorate, put tilak, put garland. So the animal, and they give him some nice food to eat also. So he has faith in these people. And then when he sees that these people are having some weapon in the hand, the animal is having trust that he is just playing with us. But then they cut his neck. So this is the meaning of Vishrabdha. This is what he is saying. So ityadi vakya tatparyam abuddhva ye pasun pranata eva himsanti. They actually kill the animal. Vishrabdha vad kalepi ete asmat palaka. He says even when they are ready to be slaughtered, then the animal is thinking, oh, they are our protector. Asman na hanishyanti. They will not kill us. Kintu shastra darshanena uphasitum asmabhi sa khelanti. But by showing this weapon by which they will cut their neck, they are only playing with us. They are joking. Iti palitahi pasubhi krit viswasa. So the animals which have been raised by these people who offer them in yajna, they trust them. Tan duhyanti gnanti eva. But they kill these animals. Tataste cha pasva pretya mutra tanscha svaghatkan khadanti. So later on these animals, they will eat them in next life. And this is the sloka. Masam bhakshayita mutra yasya masam iha admiyam etan masasya masatvam pravadanti manishina iti vachanat. So this is the proof that these animals will eat them, because the very definition of mamsa, meat, says that now I'm eating you, next life you will eat me. यथा च योग बलेन यज्ञ पशून प्रत्यक्षम प्रदर्श्य प्राचीन बरिशम प्रत्युक्तम श्रीनारदेन. This is another proof that Bhagavatam is not in favor of killing animals. Because this story already came earlier in the Prachin Barhi. So this Prachin Barhi king, he was doing so many yagyas and he killed many animals. So Narad Rishi came to see him, and then he showed him in the sky that all these animals, they're waiting for you. When you die, then they will attack you. And this is what he said. Bhavo prajapate rajan pasuna pasya tvaya dhvare sangyapitan jiva sanghan nirghranena sahasrasaha. So he said, O Prajapati, king, look, all these animals in the sky. These are the animals which have been killed by you. And here the word Sangyapitan is used. This is what I was telling, that Sangyapnam. So Jiv Sanghan Nirghranena Sahasrasa. You have killed thousands and thousands of them, animals. Because he did so many yajna. That's why he was called Prachin Barhi. Barhi means this kusha grass which is spread to invite the Devatas. Ete tvam sampratikshante smaranto vaishasham tava samparetam ayah kute chindanti utthita manyava. So all these animals, they are waiting for you because they are remembering how you killed them. Vaishasham means killing. And when you die, samparetam maya, then they are going to cut you into pieces because they are very angry. So this is very clear statement. Therefore Vishwanath Chakravarti's explanation is aligned with what already came, and this other explanation doesn't fit. So dushanta iti masartham pashun himsanti lokan va yad dushanti tat swatmanam harimeva dushanti. So those who are killing animals or those who are killing, this is actually the next sloka. Dushantaha parkayesu swatmanam harimishvara mritake sanubandhe asmin baddha sneha patanti adha. Those who are jealous of other beings and they kill for the sake of their own body. So he says they are envious of Hari only because he is present in Harimeshwaram Dusanta. So Hari Ishvara, Bhagavan, is situated in others' body. So when you kill them, then you are actually against Bhagavan. And you are so much attached to your own body, which is mortal, mritake, and your relatives. So because of affection to your body and relatives, you are going to fall down. Patanti adha. So there is not much comment on this. It says dushanta iti masartham pasun himsanti. So those who kill animals for the sake of eating meat, or lokan vayad dushanti, or those who are envious of other people. Tatsva atmanam harimeva dushanti. They are actually envious of their own self. So causing violence to others, he says, is causing violence to yourself. Now you may enjoy and you think that you are eating meat and you are happy. Because eating meat is very common now in the world. Even in India it is becoming very popular now. So he says that they will glide down to hell. Yes.
Bodhi Bhagavati has a question. She says that that I've eaten animals for over 20 years, does that mean that I need many lives so those animals eat me?
No. Now if you stop and don't eat again and be respectful to animals, then you don't have to. So ye kaivalyam samprapta ye च अतीताश्च मूढ़ताम त्रैवर्गिका हि अक्षणिका आत्मानं घातयन्ति ते. So he says, this is also a very interesting sloka. He is talking about people who have not attained the state of liberation, kaivalyam samprapta. And they are not completely foolish. They are in between. There are three types of people. One are moodhas, completely foolish, very much attached to body, enjoyment. Then there are one who are very highly advanced people. And then there is in between, whom he has called earlier as Gyan Lav Durvidagdha. And they think they are learned. So he is talking about them. So he says, Traivargika hi achanika atmanam ghatyanti te. So they don't understand the true meaning of the Shastra, and therefore they engage only in dharmartha kama, Traivargika, which is all temporary, and in this way they are the killer of themselves. Means they have the opportunity to attain moksha, but instead of that they remain engaged only in temporary pleasures. So this is their situation. So these middle people, they are the one who get suffering. Yascha mudtama loke, yascha buddhe param gata. So, sukham tau bhav sukham edete klishyante antarito jana. He says there are two types of people who are happy. Those who are absolutely foolish, they are happy. It's like if some people get dementia, they are happy because they don't have anything to worry. Cannot remember. So, animal-like children, the dementia people also become like children. And yascha buddhe paramgata, those who are beyond everything, transcendental. So they are happy also. They don't worry about anything. But those who are in between, दो चाकन पाटन के बीच में साबुत बचाने को है, राइट? कबीरा चाकी चलती देख के दियो कबीरा रोए. So Kabira is saying that these people, they are getting grinded. So that is being described in this. So agyas tattvagyair anukampita taranti tattvagyastu swataeva hetu natyantam agya na cha tattvagyaste antaralvartine patanti itya. So he says, he has another take on it. He says those who are ignorant, agya, they get the blessing of those who are saintly, tattvagya. And those who are tattvagya, they don't need any help. So ignorant people can also cross over by the grace of the saintly people because they are not proud. And those who are learned, saintly people, they will also cross over. But those people who are proud but really are not learned, they are the one who glide down to hell. So that is being described. Kaivalyam asamprapta, they have not attained kaivalya. Kaivalya prapka jnana sunya ityartha, means they do not have the knowledge how to attain freedom from material bondage. Napi Pashwadivan Mudha, and they are also not completely like animals. Tarhi Kim Jnanarthino va na. So he says that are they looking after knowledge then? Are they jigyasu? So he says no, they are not jigyasu. They are not absolutely foolish, and they are not approaching somebody for knowledge. So they suffer. Traivargi kaha dharma artha kama para bhavantu. So they engage in dharma, artha and kama. And now you can remove the dharma. They engage only in artha and kama, making money, enjoying. So this is what the humanity is all about now. Artha, kama. So dharma is also not there. Tadapi kadapi avsaram prapya hari katham sroshyanti. No. So even then they can sometimes get an opportunity to hear Hari Katha. He says they don't do that. Akshanikas tatra kshanmatram api avkasam na labhante. Says they don't have any time because they have cell phone. So how can they find time? So therefore they say they are known as Akshanika. That they don't even have a moment. So they are so busy. So everything is being done by machine and we are busy. So he says they don't have time. Tarite atmanam eva ghatiyanti. Therefore they are committing suicide. That's what they are doing. So this is the end of this sloka. There is a very nice analysis which is done by Ganga Sahaya. Maybe I can say that. In this verses which we have read from verse number 2 up till here, 16. So he says that there are two types of people. Those who accept Shastra, the Astikas, and those who don't accept. Ganga Sahaya. I'm not reading commentary, I'm just giving the gist of what he said. This commentary is long. So he divides people in two categories, Astika and Nastika. So he says that the sloka number 2 and 3, where he says Mukh Bahauru Padebhya, and says Sam Purusham Sakshat, where he says Na Bhajanti Avjananti, they fall down. He says these two slokas are about those people who don't accept Shastra. This is their situation. Then those who accept Shastra, there are two categories of them. Those who can understand the meaning of Shastra, those who do not understand the meaning of Shastra. They are unable to understand. So the sloka number 4, where it said Dure Hari Katha Kechit and Tenu Kampya Bhavadrisham, they should be blessed by people like you. It is talking about such people, that they can be instructed. They will accept the grace. Now he comes to the rest of the slokas are those people who deliberate on the meaning of the Shastra. So he says those who deliberate on the meaning of the Shastra, among them also there are two categories. Those who are simple-hearted and those who are crooked-hearted. So crooked-hearted people are described in sloka number 5 and 6. Where he said they are Amnayavadi, means they are only after Arthavada. These are the same people who come later on, that they want to enjoy, etc. So these are these type of people. And among them also some are really fallen down. They are very Rajasic. So that was verse number 7. Rajsa Ghor Sankalpa Kamuka Himanyava. So he says they should be just avoided. because he said there Vihasanti Achyut Priyan, they make fun of the devotees, so there is no question of giving any instruction to them. So he said they should be just avoided. Then there are others who are simple hearted. Among them also there are three categories. There are those who are very much attached to sense enjoyment, but they are not crooked. And then there are those who are not so much attached. And then there are those who are not attached. So those who are ati asakta, for them is the verse number 11, where the Vyavastha is given. Loke vivayam smadhya seva nityastu janto nahi tatra chodana. So this is for people who have deep attachment, they are unable to give up. For them this arrangement is made that okay, you cannot give up, then this is how you should do it. And then among those who are not attached, some are householders and some are not householders. And then there are some others who are not very attached. For them is the sloka number, Yadgrana Bhakso Vihita Suraya, number 13. And this, then you give two different type of meaning for them. So those who are not completely detached, for them the meaning is that okay, you can have some. And those who are completely detached, then they can just smell, no, only touch the animal. And that's all. So this is how he explains these slokas. We'll stop here if there is any more question.
Are for
Hmm?
8, 9, 10.
8, 9,
वदन्ति
10.
ते अन्योन्यम उपाश्रित स्त्रियो गृहेषु मैथुन्य परेषु च आशिष.
Yeah, you can read it, you can find out. Yajanti asristannama dakshinam, they are dancing, they don't give any dakshina, nothing like that.
So this will come in those who
And those whose heart are not straightforward.
crooked.
Yeah, they accept Shastra, that's why they are doing yajna. But they are doing tamasic yajna. Naresh.
Thank you, Bhante. Please accept my humble pronoun. My question is, I have read in somewhere or heard that Kriti yat dhyayato Vishnu, Tretam yajrito makhay, and Dvapari paricharcha kirto tad talo tad kirtanena. So was this sacrifice was time bound only for Treta Yuga, or I mean, was it practiced or mentioned for every yuga one can perform yoga, especially for a desire to taste meat?
No, it is not time bound. That sloka is just saying that predominantly this is what people did. These vidhis are not time bound. One ashram is not time bound. But just like now people are not following, so can you say that it is not allowed now? But just describing that what is predominant in a particular yuga.